UFC Abu Dhabi Whittaker vs. De Ridder took place yesterday, and I am here to give you my instant reaction to the fight card. So let's get right into this, man. Let's not waste any time here. Robert Whittaker versus Reinier De Ridder. De Ridder won. 48-47 split decision. I thought he got it pretty clearly, 3-2. I don't love the robbery talk on Twitter. I thought that RDR did enough goofballing and kind of DDP maxing to steal this fight away from Whittaker, who I was saying this out loud when the fight was ending in that fifth round that Whittaker is no longer a top level guy. He's just not at the top anymore. I don't think he has the heart. RDR had him in the clinch. There were moments where Whittaker could have separated and landed volume, but I just think the heart is not completely there. I think he knows that he's just not at the upper echelon anymore. So it's a really tricky spot for Whittaker now. I thought he had moments. Obviously, he had moments. He dropped De Ridder bad. You can see it in the bottom right here. De Ridder was hurting him early in the second round, and then Whittaker landed a bomb of a right hand, kind of a Hail Mary type of shot that put down De Ridder for a moment, and I thought it was going to be over, but De Ridder toughed it out, and he really won this fight in the clinch, man. It was very impressive. He's incredibly goofy. He still doesn't eat shots well. His body language is weird, but listen, man, the more goofball, goofy goober type of style that you have, maybe the better you are. So maybe he knows something and DDP knows something that we don't, man. But speaking of, by the way, I mean, this guy's physique, I mention it every single video. It's fascinating from the side. We're talking about a negative side profile on the kid. So, this is our top five middleweight. I just wanted everyone to get an image of this. Either way, moving on. Petr Yan versus Marcus McGee. What a fight that was, man. Petr Yan, we're pouring honey on you. We love Petr Yan. Petr Yan pretty clearly, in my opinion, and this is I didn't see a lot of people agreeing with this. I thought Yan got all three. I thought there was at least going to be a judge that gave him all three. I thought that the live stats swayed a lot of people online to give McGee round one, but I felt like Yan was ahead the entire fight. He mixed in this guy Petr Yan aura farms once every single fight with like a really cool trip that he does. People need to go back and look at his fights. He does it literally once a fight. He did it versus Figgy. He did it versus Sonya Dawn. He just did it versus McGee. He throws in one really cool takedown fight. So that was funny when he did that. I honestly felt like it was less competitive than a 29-28. Like, he may have won 2 out of the 3 rounds, and McGee may have stolen the first, but it was not a competitive fight. Like, Petr Yan was better in every single exchange. He landed the better shots. McGee had a moment or two, but Yan is at high guard, so he's not really getting hit with a lot of what you're throwing at him. It's why even the fights where he looked like he was super stiff, like the Merab fight, he's not really getting hit still. He got, that bad abrasion over his eye, but I felt like Petr Yan was ahead the entire fight. I will say this, though, man. I really do love Petr. Dude, he's not beating Merab a second time. Like, it was really sad to watch it the first time, and Merab was kind of being hateful. That's why he went ahead and did that, shooting 75 times or however many times he shot. But I think that Merab in a rematch does the same thing. I think he's just going to shoot and shoot and shoot. And I think Petr Yan's going to get taken down again, man. Like, I question Petr Yan's cardio a little bit now. I think it's kind of been weird how stiff he's been in moments. But either way, he should get the winner of Corey Merab. For the fans' sake, I hope Corey wins, so we get a Petr and Corey rematch, because that would be awesome. But either way, great win for Petr Yan. Next up, Shara Magomedov versus Marc-Andre Barriault. Oh my goodness, do I have words for you, Shara Bullet. Headline here, breaking news, Shara Bullet throws leg kicks at range off his back foot to win a decision. This is shocking stuff. Clap it up for the kid. He's never done this before. We've never seen Shara Bullet, this knockout artist, get pushed back the entire fight and throw leg kicks at range to win. In all seriousness, he did have moments. I mean, he hurt him bad with an elbow or two. He had a couple cool kicks that seemed to hurt Andre Barriault, but man, Marc-Andre Barriault has a KO loss to Dustin Stoltzfus. Like, that's a guy you should finish. It was really interesting. I so badly want to say that Shara Bullet has pillow hands, and I will say he has pillow fists. I mean, listen, man, come for me in the comments. I don't care. Shara Bullet has pillow hands, and it's a conversation we got to start. Took him 3 rounds to finish Antonio Tricoli, and that was just kind of because he quit. Petrosian was stopped early. People don't want to have that conversation, but it is what it is. Go watch that back. He got rocked really bad by Marc-Andre Barrio, but he toughed it out. He like broke his nose bad. It looked like so. Real toughness from him. I'll give him that, but I was not impressed. It's kind of the same stuff I've seen from kind of like the Bruno Silva fight or the Olowich fight. It's kind of similar stuff. So shout out to Shara though for winning. Next up on the main card was Asu Almabayev and Jose Ochoa. Asu Almabayev got this fight. I solely picked him, and I went 4 for 5. By the way, I think the only fight I got wrong on the main card was what was the only? I have no clue what the fight was. I know I got this right. I know I got Shara right. Oh, I got De Ridder and Whittaker wrong. That's what I got wrong. I picked Bobby, but either way, went 4 for 5 on the main card on the Money Manziel criteria, so happy about that. Either way, I only picked Almabayev because I hated Jose Ochoa's coach for making annoying loud noises in the Loner Kavanaugh fight. And it worked out. I mean, Almabayev won, in my opinion, pretty clearly. I believe they gave him a bunch of 30-27s, which was interesting because I think some people thought Ochoa definitely had moments. But listen, this guy fights the same every single fight. He's going to throw a couple of weird kicks at range, nothing with real intent or power. And he's going to try and take you down and control you. He kind of just does little mat returns and holds you there for 25, 30 seconds at a time. He'll get like 3 around, and he kind of just steals rounds away from you. It's a pretty annoying style to watch and to be a part of as a fighter. I definitely think the UFC is taking him back to the Apex, though. It's not a very interesting style. He's getting ready to. He's gonna have to learn how to fight in the Apex. I think he gets KKF next. He wanted Joshua Van. That's not happening. I think you're getting Kai France or Brandon Moreno in the Apex, brother. So maybe not today, but tomorrow I'm gonna fight in the Apex, brother. Nikita Krylov and Bogdan Guskov. I went back and forth on this. I picked Guskov in the criteria, but I did pick Krylov in the actual predictions. Listen, man, I feel bad for Nikita Krylov. He did get slimed by Uzbekistani Anthony Smith. Tough. He looks so much more like the Hitman security guard than fucking Alexander Usyk does. I think that's a dialogue we need to start. Man, how the fuck? Why? Who is Krylov's management that lets him take a fight 3 months after getting flatlined by Dominic Reyes? That doesn't make any sense to me, man. Like, I don't really get what the game plan was there. Like, why? Why would you do that to him? You know? Like, it's one of those things where I'm sitting here and I'm like, I'm happy for Guskov. He got a good knockout. It was back and forth, and then Krylov got clipped bad. I forget exactly what it was that put him down. It seemed like a left-right, kind of like a left hook, like a 3-2 type of combo. But the Nikita Krylov just kind of bum rushes, and eventually you're going to get caught if you do it. It sucks. I don't know why his management made him fight 3 months later. It's a really dumb decision. It's similar to when Jamal Hill was going to take that fight in June after Alex Pereira knocked him out. There's no world where that works out for you. So, good win for Guskov, though. Next up, Said Nurmagomedov versus Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell won this fight. I will say this though, man. I'm not gonna say I'm happy for Bryce Mitchell. I think everyone's kind of thrown under the rug with this guy said and done. But I'll be honest, man. Like, I'm starting to rate wins over Said less and less because he has 1 round of cardio. So you just have to be able to stay in there and not get ninja choked in round 1. He is nothing for you in rounds 2 and 3. Like, I really have not seen someone who is so useless after the first round. He does nothing. He has nothing left in the tank after the first round. Rounds 2 and 3, Bryce Mitchell stole. If I forget if it was 1 and 3, but either way, Bryce Mitchell just was a little bit better on the ground. He got knocked down bad. I forget which round that was, but that was a tough knockdown. It was on a knee too. I just think Bryce is not that good. Like, he's striking. There's a lot to desire there. The grappling is good, but he's not really a submission threat on the ground. He really struggles with some of these guys when he gets them down. Like Edson, he had a lot of problems with. I will be interested to see at bantamweight if he has the cardio, but he said he was like wheezing. So I don't know, man. People forget Bryce Mitchell drilled his own balls one time. Uh, but good win for Bryce Mitchell. I'm a little shaky on whether Saeed's a legit win anymore. So good for him though. This is the fight I want to talk about: Muslim Salikov and Carlos Liao. Listen, man, you can't be named the king of kung fu and not be tough as shit. 41 years old, fat. Well, he's not fat actually. 41 years old, worst hairline I've ever seen, zero muscle on the body, versus a steroided, roided to the max Brazilian with back knee, and the 41-year-old with the worst hairline ever flatlines him with the right hand. You can't predict these things in the UFC. It's unbelievable. Muslim Salikov has somehow knocked out Carlos Leal. I've not known him to be a powerful guy. I thought he sucked before this fight, to be honest with you. Muslim Salikov looks like the most classic Uber driver you would get at like 1 in the morning. Like you're out with your boys, you're like, dude, we gotta get an Uber. This shit's gonna be like $30, but we gotta pay for it, whatever. Muslim Salikov is the guy that shows up. He doesn't say a word to you the entire time you're in that Uber, but you give him the 5 stars because he got you home safe. That's what Muslim Salikov looks like. And he knocked out a guy who is on so many steroids, John Jones would be jealous. Like unbelievable stuff, man. Shout out to Muslim Salikov. Brother, I want Stephen Thompson next. Wonder Boy, I want Stephen Thompson next. I think that'll be a great matchup, him versus Stephen Thompson. I hope they do that, to be honest. Next up, Davy Grant versus Damon Blackshear. Uh, Listen, man, you cannot. This is one of those things that's like a stoppable force versus an immovable object. Like Davy Grant was always going to beat Damon Blackshear. Damon Blackshear versus Alatang Haley stood on his feet for no reason for 3 rounds and did nothing of note. I knew that he would not really grapple Davy Grant, even though it was an easy victory or easy path to victory for him was to just grapple. Um, Damon Blackshear's stupid, man. He's a dumb fighter. Davy Grant's not. Davy Grant is the hardest bloke in England. Um, Davy Grant's the type of guy like you're walking around fucking Liverpool. You see like Darren Till, mate, may I see how's going? I'm so sorry for that. Um, but like you're walking around Liverpool and you see fucking Davy Grant near like a trash can, like picking shit out of there, like he's trying to eat whatever's in the trash. You wouldn't be shocked to see Davy Grant dumpster diving in a random city. That is the look that he has. Like Davy Grant is the type of guy where you walk into McDonald's, he's like eating a fucking like a small fries that the staff gave him, and you're kind of like, okay, that makes sense. Like, I'm not gonna question. You're not gonna question anything if Davy Grant is homeless. That's pretty much what I'm getting at here. Davy Grant looks like a homeless English guy that you would find at a random McDonald's. That's about the equivalent, and he beat up Damon Blackshear in rounds 2 and 3. It's exactly what you would expect from a Davy Grant fight. Luckily, they didn't rob him. Proud for him. What proud for him? Proud of him. I don't know why I'm talking like I'm his dad, but congrats to Davy Grant. It was a great decision win. He keeps doing it, man. Rank this guy. Next up, Tabitha Ricci versus Amanda Hebos. First of all, I want to say this. I'm going to hate watch her a little bit. I don't think Ricci's that hot. I think Polyana Viana's hotter if we're going off UFC fighters, but either way, she is. That's like the worst thing that's happened for her career to KO Amanda Hebos because she's going to think her boxing is good. She is terrible boxing, like really, really bad fundamental boxing. Kind of looks like that photo at the bottom, but she got a nice little elbow to the eye action. It was nasty. It just kind of it was a perfect storm for her. I don't know what Hebos does now with her career, but it is at least a good win for Tabitha Ricci. Happy for her. We needed a finish from a women's fight to keep the card moving, so thank you to her for that at least. We're going to move on. We're not spending time on this. Another fight that we're not spending time on. Billy Elikana and Ibo Aslan. Useless fighters having a useless fight. I didn't really watch it because every time I looked up, it was a sparring match. Ibo Aslan had his hand up and acted like... It was like Ibo Aslan kind of Marvin Vittori maxed at the end of the fight. Like he was like, oh my god, I won this. Bro, how's that even a question, bro? How's that even a question? Of course I won this fight. Like... It just, I don't understand why his hand was up. Billy Elikana won, but it was a sad fight. There was nothing of note that took place. You know, train 8 months in Dagestan, and fucking come back a boring fighter. That's what Aslan did. So, congrats to Billy Alicana. This guy literally quit halfway through the second round versus Bogdan Guskov, but you got to win the UFC. So, shows where we're at. Anyways, second to last fight on the card, Stephen Nguyen versus Muhammad Yahya. Good lord, do I have words. Jason Herzog is the most egregious gambler in UFC history besides Daniel Cormier, and I'm very serious with that. This guy allowed 6 knockdowns, where like 5 of them Yahya was out cold. Yahya was unconscious and a dead man on the floor. Right, this guy's looking up to the stars. He's not even in the Abu Dhabi anymore. He's probably in like Qatar. He's probably Yahya genuinely got sent to a different dimension 6 different times in the fight. Jason Herzog keeps opening his phone. This is serious. I watched Jason Herzog in that fight open up his phone, look at the DraftKings over 1.5 that he had on that fight, and he kept it going. It was a crazy moment. We all saw it pull out. We all saw him pull out his phone. It was nuts. It was one of those moments where we're like, holy shit! Like the referee just pulled out his phone. He just placed a live bet on it to go over 1.5. It didn't even end because of him. That was the best part. Like he knew the over 1.5 hit. So Jason Herzog decided at the end of the round, if you can hear it in the second round, it's like, oh yeah, you can't see. Yeah, no, it's good. We're good. Yeah, we'll stop the fight. This guy, we all watched Jason Herzog let a man basically die in the octagon 6 different times. On the 5th knockdown, Jason Herzog calls his bookie from DraftKings and he says, listen, did we get the over 1.5 in? His bookie says yes. He says, okay, we're going to let it go to the end of the second round. Kid, we're going to let it go to the end of the second round. That's what he said. It was live on the mic. We all heard him say that he had the over 1.5. Big money there. I think it was plus money, actually. So, shout out to Jason Herzog for gambling. He ruined Jared Cannonier's chances at getting another chance at a belt because of the Imavov fight. So, what a guy. Disgrace. But I am happy for Stephen to win. I just wish they'd given him the first round KO he deserved. I mean, Yahya's face was closed up. It just was really upsetting that Herzog showed such a disgraceful display of refereeing in general. I feel like some people consider him one of the better ones, so it sucks. Yahya showed heart. Yahya actually hurt him, which is going to go. It's not going to be talked about. The one punch Yahya landed actually dropped Stephen to win mid first round, so pretty crazy stuff. But either way, final fight of the card. Oh my god, I thought I was done ranting. Listen, man. I am going to be as nice as possible about this. Martin Buday was involved in a fight today, or yesterday, rather. He was involved in a fight. A fight happened that he was in, and he was declared the winner of that fight. That's what happened, As much as I want to say that, Martin Buday is a fat, obese, Slovakian guy that has never touched a treadmill in his life. He's never touched a vegetable in his life. I don't even know if he's been in an MMA gym before. I think he just kind of runs around aimlessly. I have better cardio. I think 95% of people on Earth have better cardio. He does nothing to offer as a fighter. As much as I want to say that, and I'm not going to say that, that would be rude to say that kind of stuff. He won the fight. Buchecha sucks. No clue how to mix in the striking. Could not get takedowns. You are a 12-time BJJ champion. And you cannot submit Martin Buday, an obese guy that has clearly never touched a weight before. He has never, ever ran before in his life. He's walked everywhere. He's probably taken a taxi everywhere, Uber, Lyft. This guy's a big Postmates fan, I've heard. I heard that he's Postmates' number one customer, actually, Martin Buday. So I'm trying to be careful because I could start yelling here if I want to, but congrats to Martin Buday for winning. He actually did help a parlay or two of mine. Third straight profitable week, by the way. But we might start pushing gambling on the youth. We'll see what happens. Either way, that is going to do it for the video and the UFC Abu Dhabi Whittaker vs. De Ridder recap. I appreciate every single one of you for listening. If you're new, like, comment, subscribe down below. The TikTok is at Money Manziel MMA. I post a clip every single day on there. I post a YouTube short on here every single day. And I try and post a video every single day. Saturdays, I tend not to post. I let you guys watch the UFC. And then we talk all about it the rest of the week. So, hope everybody had a good time with this video. Sorry for ranting about Jason Herzog, but that shit pissed me off so much. So, I'll see you boys in the next one. It has been a great pleasure recording this. Next week we've got an Apex card. After that we got an Apex card. It's gonna be tough pickings. I'm gonna try and come up with some cool video ideas. But that'll do it. Peace out, boys.